You are listening to Retire Texas Style, the podcast. We appreciate you joining us. You know, one of the attractive parts of annuities is that, of course, they offer guaranteed income in retirement. Who doesn't want that? Well, one of the criticisms is that you don't have access to all your money. But annuity advocate Cheryl Moore with winkintel.com says that is not necessarily the case.
You can take money out through an annuity through penalty-free withdrawals, which every year most annuities allow you to access 10% of your policy's value without being penalized. You can get liquidity from an annuity through the death benefit because they pay the full account value on death almost always, depending on the contract. You can get liquidity from an annuity through taking guaranteed lifetime withdrawal payments. They offer a tremendous amount of liquidity, and so I think they get a bad rap when people try and say your money is locked up when you buy an annuity.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could agree with that. You know, Steve, what are your thoughts? If the annuity discussion comes up, do you find that, you know, people, what they think about annuities is really completely different than what it actually is?
It's exactly. You know, just people come to see me and then they'll go home and research it and they find this crazy stuff on the web that when you die, it's not there. No, that's more of a pension annuity. I mean, you need to buy the right annuity. But, you know, so many people have gone out there and bought variable annuities. They've lost so much money. The fees are 5 and 6%. It's been a horrible experience. And I'm telling you, you know, they didn't work with the right professional. They didn't have the annuity that really made a difference. If you're thinking about income and retirement, you really owe it to yourself to sit down and figure out what these options look like. You know, Jess, when I got started in my 20s, now that I'm 60, I would see people running out of money. You know, they did not have this guaranteed income benefit where they couldn't run out of money. And if they had a spouse, the spouse couldn't run out of money. But the great thing is, like Cheryl said, you know, the death benefit. What's left is going to go to your heirs, and that's what everybody wants. But, you know, Jess, I'm not going to dig in it too far today. What I think is so interesting is so many of our clients, when they turn that income on, oh, you know, insurance companies are bad. Really? You know, the thing I find is just that in the 6th or 7th year, our clients start using the insurance company's money, and they have that income no matter if they live to be 120. Mm-hmm. So knowledge is power. Income is everything in retirement. You know, people come to see me, Jess, they beat their chest and talk about how much money they have. It needs to think differently. It's how much income you can generate in retirement. That's what it's about, Jess. If you're looking for income, come see us at Hoyle Financial. Let's do an income strategy review to see what's going on with your money. Can you retire? Just so often, people are so shocked. They're in better shape than they thought they were to retire. You know, you don't know what you don't know, but what a great opportunity to figure out, can I retire?
We've been talking about this, I feel like, for weeks. Is a recession coming? Is it not? What are the other professionals talking about out there? Well, economists at the Federal Reserve are in the backpedal zone because they no longer are expecting a recession this year. But wealth manager Eddie Gabor says that he feels that's pretty much exactly what we need.
I don't know how we get out of this problem. Everything that we try to figure out, how do we get inflation down to 2%? How do we get the labor market and labor costs down? How do we recalibrate and get things back to where we need to get to so then we can get back to a more normalized growth environment? And we continue to come to the same conclusion. And that conclusion is, in our opinion, you can't get any of these things fixed without a recession.
So what are your clients thinking and asking, Steve?
I think they're just confused. You know, one thing I find, Jess, I read a quote the other day, if you're not confused right now, you're not watching. I mean, the market's up, the market's down, the market's sideways. I mean, recession's huge. We're not going to have a recession. We're in a recession. Inflation is huge. Inflation's coming down. Jess, it's a mess. But what I know is our clients that have a plan, they're focused on that plan. No matter what happens, Jess, they're going to be great in retirement. And I think that's what people want, is a strategy, a track to run on. And that's what we do for our clients, Jess.
And yeah, you're exactly right. You've been doing this for over 3 decades. It's exactly what you do. You give that added peace of mind to your clients out there. And, another added peace of mind situation you need to know is, what do I do with that 401k when I leave the job? There's an article I read about a growing trend of job-changing cash-ins. In other words, they're withdrawing their entire 401k rather than just maybe rolling it over to a next employer or putting it into something like an IRA. So why is this one of the biggest mistakes somebody can make?
Oh, Jess, it's horrible. You save that money. It's so hard to come by. All of a sudden, if you're under 59 and a half and you don't have any of the exemptions, you're going to pay all the taxes at your tax rate plus another 10%, Jess. It's horrible. Yes, it's immediate cash, but the long-term cost is huge. Not just the taxes, but a lot of times there's penalties. It's crazy what's happening out there. What a great opportunity to take control of that money and then put it into a retirement strategy after you leave there. That money's just sitting there. Put it to work for you. Think about putting that money into an income strategy. It could roll up at 9.5% every year for the next 10 years till you retire. Jess, I have other strategies that will roll up every year for 20 years. But most of all, get that money out of harm's way. Jess, I find so often when we think about 401ks, it's crazy, but the problem with that 401k is the fees are so huge. People are so shocked when they move it to safe money and they're still losing money every month.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's the last thing you want to do is be losing money. You want to have a strategy that's going to protect and grow your income.
It's interesting. I just want to touch on this. The Harvard Business Review last year did a study that 4 in 10 employees cash out some or part of their 401k when they change jobs. That's just horrible, Jess. Money for retirement's hard to come by. But the thing that will really get you right here says it all. Of those that do, 85% of them withdraw the entire sum. Oh my gosh, Houston, we have the biggest problem. How are you going to retire? Jess, don't wreck that retirement plan. Come up with another strategy. Let us at Hoyle Financial make it work. That's what's so important.
Exactly right. You want to make sure you're making the right decisions the first time. A lot of times you're not able to go back and correct those mistakes. And most importantly, you want to make sure that you're not just blowing your money that you've saved for retirement. And this is something that, Steve, you talk about and you deal with each and every single day. You've been doing this for over 3 decades. I would go on a limb and say there's not really much out there that you haven't seen before.
Jess, there's not much I haven't seen before. This separates the men from the boys for retirement. People that are doing great things with their money to people that are just squandering it. One of the things we do at Hoyle Financial is help you figure out a way to make it work. If you're thinking about cashing that in, let's talk about it first. If you don't have a plan for retirement, you need to pick up that phone right now and call us. If you've saved at least $100,000 and you really want to make that money work amazing for you,
thanks so much for joining us for Retire Texas Style, the podcast. Get more details on the website, retiretexasstyle.com.
Hoyle Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and/or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Bonus annuities may include higher surrender charges, longer surrender charge periods, lower caps, higher spreads, or other restrictions that are not included in similar annuities that do not offer a premium bonus feature. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Hoyle Financial Group, Texas Insurance Licensed 1719183.